Hey, Summer Games Fest fools! June flopped on in and Gamer Christmas sucked this year. E3 f***ing died. Again. Geoff Keighley showed up and tried to pick up the scraps. Unfortunately, every company sent them garbage. There were no games. All the games were bad. Piece of shit trailers all around. Summer Games Fest this year was dookie butter. These were the worst trailers to come out of this show. Open zone, tons of moves, cool looking combat, a promising story. It looks like Sonic Team's got something really great on their hands. I wish Sega would let me see it. I don't know what the hell Sega's marketing strategy is with this game. They want to hype up this new open zone style of Sonic gameplay. So they show a rough early build demo with the player walking around and not engaging with most anything, while also not telling the audience that it was an early build. They have the most praised Sonic writer on the game and don't show any of where he's worked on, which you would think they would capitalize on, because Sonic fans seem to love story more than they love gameplay. They had a whole Sonic Central and still didn't show more than 10 seconds of gameplay. I am flabbergasted. The game has been the talk of the town, not for the best reasons, but it took a week and a solid 5 rounds of footage before the talk was even mostly positive. They had the game at the Summer Games Fest in-person event, and most people who played it came off saying the game was a blast. Shame Sega NDA'd it and didn't allow footage from it. Usually when this happens, it means the game's a stinky turd they can't wash off, so they just pretend it doesn't exist. But no, people seem to love Sonic Frontiers, so why does Sega not want me to see the awesome game? Every little tidbit gets me more excited, but this marketing is less of a blast and more of a boom. Less of a gem, more of a jam. None of these comparisons work. Oh, I'm moving on. Every game that had a cinematic trailer and no gameplay. The best way to get me into a video game is by showing me the video game. So why do so many devs not show me the video game? Nothing is more deflating than seeing the world premiere, getting a grand cinematic trailer. It's over, no gameplay, go home. But I don't know what the game is! I'm fine when trailers have no gameplay, when it's a sequel to a game we already know, because there's already an idea from prior games of how it's going to work. But when it's a new IP, then they just show a logo or a cinematic, what do I take from that? I don't know the genre or the gameplay, I guess it could be a cool movie. Aliens Dark Descent was a way too long cinematic trailer, and all it told me was that there's gonna be Aliens game. Oh my god! Stormgate had nothing but a cinematic. This game could have been an FPS, MOBA, adventure game, it's an RTS. How the f was I supposed to guess that? This game cheesed me off because of all the games to show off with an overly long 10-minute gameplay demo of. It's Call of Duty. Every Call of Duty game sells a billion copies. Everyone knows how these games play. COD is one of the biggest game series in the West. The US at least. Sure, it's a new game, but even then, it's a remake of an old game. It's Modern Warfare 2. Everyone knows Modern Warfare 2. It's up there with Black Ops as the only COD game everybody likes. I'd be fine if they showed off new mechanics or new guns. I don't know what they add to these games anymore. But it was just a really dragged out demo of one campaign level. Unless you're deep dished in the Call of Duty community, you probably aren't gonna get what's new with this game. It's like when Nintendo had the Splatoon 3 trailers only to show a new special, or that you can throw eggs in Salmon Run. Splatoon fans can look at that and get a sense of how what they showed was new, but anyone who isn't a hardcore Splatoon fan just kinda sit there drooling half asleep. And that was me watching MW2. And again, it's Call of Duty. The franchise sells as much as Pokémon, and they try even less. Zing! I can bitch about Mihoyo again, it's been so long! During Geoff's Summer Games Fest show on June 9th, Hoyo vs. They're Trying Too Hard, revealed 2 different video games, ZZZ and another game I refuse to remember. This company's made the same games 4 times and everyone's none the wiser. If Geoff didn't segment these 2 trailers, you could've told me these were the exact same game and I'd believe you. Heck, you could've told me these were Genshin expansions and I would believe you. Heck, you could tell me these were Honkai expansions and I'd tell you to please shut talking now. Mihoyo are the poster childs of recycling and I'm pissed. That's impressed and pissed. All their games have the exact same lame default anime art style, and the games regurgitate the same 4 character designs over and over again, and people are still following it. Like, I hate it, but I'm honestly impressed. They can make the worst character designs you've seen in your life and make $1 billion because the hair color is a new RGB value. I respect the grind, but I hate the grind. Why fix what ain't broke? They secured their audience by the nads and will never let go because the audience doesn't want them to let go. And I already know these 2 games are gonna be more of that exact same thing. They just took the games they already made, tweaked the look a tiny bit, and boom! 2 new money-making machines. I want to see them make a fighting game just to see how much they can get away with filling the roster with the same 5 characters. If I had to choose, I guess I'd say Zenkai Zange Zero looks better because it's at least 5% more original. But choosing a favorite Mihoyo game is like choosing a favorite disease. Oh, I f***ing love chickenpox! And they're probably gonna be free to play gacha games. Heck yeah, look at all these f***s I don't give! How is this a sequel? Overwatch 2 is a mess. Every time news comes out about this game, I'm baffled at how nothing seems to be working. It's an all-new, brand-spanking sequel to the hit 2016 SFM generator, with all new lighting and 1 new character. Now see, there's 2 new ones. The big announcement was Overwatch 2 being free to play and the early access coming out in October. Problema, this game's claim to fame was supposed to be the PvE story campaign. I never played the original Overwatch, not a shooter guy. I played the shooter game made for babies. I did like the animations they put out for the characters and the general character designs, so a big story campaign sounds like the perfect thing to pull a guy like me into the series. It's not launching with the game and instead it's coming out a year after the game launches. And the rest of the game just looks so samey! Compared to Splatoon 3, a game I also think kinda looks sorta samey to Splatoon 2, that one just looks already way more new, and they haven't even blown out that game yet. Overwatch 2 isn't even close to release, and they already have the roadmap for next year, which is just, don't put the game out yet if the new content isn't even ready! The game looks like a balance patch being farted out in a hush, because I can't imagine why. Blizzard has a ton more problems than a game looking not great, but when the product is good, most people overlook skeeviness. They just can't divert attention with their game when the game doesn't seem to be delivering. You ever just see a video game and get upset that it's a video game? Starfield was first teased with just a logo in 2018. The f*** is that? And after 4 years of this serious IP, one would think Bethesda would have this reveal be a big blowout. This reveal just blows. After 4 years of nothing, the gameplay demo was boring. It looks like the most factory-made game ever, a space FPS where the player walked around and showed off the most trite Western RPG gameplay I have ever seen. The game doesn't look bad, but it does nothing for me. The game looks like it's stuck 2 generations ago, and not in a charming way like say Trials of Mana. There's shooting, there's walking, there's light space exploration. I just have nothing to latch onto with this demo. Especially because the demo was so slow and boring and I just don't care. Bethesda's first new IP since the dawn of the dinosaurs, and they showed it off in the worst way possible. I didn't like this trailer. Final Fantasy XVI is a game I feel very lukewarm towards. I'm excited based solely on the fact that it's a new product in the series that I like. I am an unashamed sheep. I don't think the game looks bad, but it's just not clicking with me. Even back in the first reveal, I didn't love the dark fantasy, very western style look, and even in this trailer, it still doesn't juice my jam. I like my Final Fantasy to be more Japanese? The trailer didn't do anything to convince me, and it was just kinda noise. I couldn't get any sort of feel for the gameplay. Every combat scene just had things flying around and particle effects on screen, and I sat there going, The only thing I could make out was that there was a focus on summons, I guess? Which, cool? What does that mean? The trailer, I guess, looked cool, but I could barely tell what was going on in any given shot. I have no doubt there'll at least be a good, fun game, but this trailer made me go from neutral to neutraler. I'm not real hyped for 16, but it doesn't really matter, because the Final Fantasy that I do care about is still coming. So if I don't get it for 16, I'm getting a sequel to the best remake of all time, so it's no skin off my teeth. I know the big thing that made everyone get antsy in their panties is Yoshi P and a lot of the 14 people working on this game. Listen, I'm sure the story will be immaculate or whatever and all that good junk, but I've played maybe 2 hours of 14. Botobo at a Photobo's adventure has not progressed much. The only name that made me feel something was the composer of Mario Hoops 3-on-3 being on this game. 3-on-3 kicks ass! I have not been indoctrinated into the Church of Yoshi P yet, and who knows if I even will. I'm pretty loyal to the Church of Goda. Oh man, another licensed anime game. I wonder if it'll be good. One Piece Odyssey looks fine. It's another Bandai Namco anime game, which is prime combination for a hearty groan, and it's being developed by Ilka. What did they make? Ew! The trailer was bad to me because it gave me no indication as how the game is. All we know is that the Straw Hat parts are in it. Wow, that's badonkers! Like, I guess it teased the story and showed off a new character or two, but One Piece filler characters are always a toss-up of quality. Nothing about the game really screams, this is the One Piece adventure game for the ages. The environments look alright, but they look very Diet Dragon Quest XI, and don't have that One Piece creativity I would expect from the series. Even non-canon movies have pretty imaginative locations, but character models look okay. Not on the level of a Naruto Storm or even a Burning Blood. I'm not gonna compare the fighters because it feels like an Unreal Engine game first, One Piece game second. One Piece Odyssey soundtrack is being done by Moto Sakuraba, known for Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Tails, and Mediocrity. This man has made 5 songs and has been recycling the same stuff for years, and the music in this trailer sounds about as boring as his usual output. It doesn't have the usual One Piece charm or energy or bounciness. It feels less One Piece and more D&D, Fantasy Playlist Volume 2. It is super generic. And can we please get out of the Fishman Island designs? I know these are the default designs for post-timeskip Straw Hats, but especially in the new world, the cast changes their outfits like twice every arc. The game would feel more special if they got new outfits to go to new islands, like in One Piece Unlimited Adventure. One Piece Odyssey also falls into the long list of games that showed off no gameplay in the trailer. The only gameplay was walking around, nothing of the battle system. It's confirmed to be turn-based, which seems awesome, but by the second trailer, we should at least see some level of combat. How snappy is it? What are the mechanics? Are there cool team-up super moves? This game looks like it's taken a lot of cues from Dragon Quest XI, and One Piece is the perfect series to have cool team super attacks in their RPG battle system. As a massive giant giganto One Piece fan, I want to be hyped for Odyssey, but they haven't shown me anything that makes me want to set the sails and embark on a JRPG adventure of a lifetime. It just makes me want to watch the show instead, which granted, everything does because One Piece is the greatest piece of fiction of all time. That's a fact, it's in the Bible. If Final Fantasy XVI makes me confused, and One Piece Odyssey makes me apathetic, then the leaked, but then officially revealed Last of Us Remake fills me with abject rage. This ended the big Geoff Keighley showcase, and even if it wasn't leaked, this would be the biggest, wettest fart of all time. The Last of Us is the epitome of a game that I don't want a remake for. The game may be 9 years old technically, but it's still incredibly modern. A game like Resident Evil 1 had only one generation between the original and the remake, but the leap from PS1 to PS2 is way easier to see than even PS3 to PS5. A PS2 GameCube era game can get a remake. I am so conflicted, but goddamn is it lame. I watched the remake trailer and it looks like just how I remember Last of Us looking, which in this case is not a good thing. They put out a bunch of comparison shots, and the game at best looks kinda better than the remaster, and in some shots looks a little worse. But to that point, the remaster also still looks great and can be played on the PS5 because it's backwards compatible. I don't even like the actual game Last of Us all that much, so I guess they could make it play better if it's in Last of Us 2 engine, but I don't think it's gonna be improved enough to warrant this game existing. Given the comparison shots, it really seems like they're going for a pretty shot-for-shot remake with this one, which makes it go up one spot on my should not exist scale. I really don't like how Sony is trying to make Last of Us this multimedia empire. It's getting a big multiplayer game, the remake, and the HBO show, the last of which I really don't get because Last of Us is already the most Hollywood movie video game. It's less interactive than the average Captain Underpants book. Maybe this is just me, but Last of Us never seemed as mass marketable as a Mario or a Sonic. The Last of Us remake just feels like a waste of resources. There's so many Sony IPs they've left on the tables, fans starving for the smallest crumbs of content. Please, I will take anything! But then they go ahead and greenlight the most unnecessary remake. Will Sony ever fill the Jack 4 shaped hole in my gut? God, please, I need it! Summer Game Fest was kind of a hot load of bleh. There were a lot of games, but not a lot stood out. Too many blended together or didn't show gameplay, and every showcase felt like either went on for way too long with nothing substantial to show for it, had barely any games worth noting, or just had games that looked bad or boring. Maybe Summer Games Fest will be better next year, and the month-long game showcase will have more games that I care about. Oh my god, I need E3 back!